Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 41 of the Local to Global series here. Now, I'm expecting big things from this episode, not exactly in sort of gameplay terms, but I think overall our storyline, or at least a little bit of storyline, is hopefully going to come together in this episode. What I mean by that is, we're going to establish a stable. We're obviously going to get into Mobstar and Davis, their whole, month together in singles competition. But I'm really looking forward to that stable. So it's going to be Maddie Faith as the leader of the stable. He's going to be joined by another singles wrestler, and he's also going to be joined by one of our tag teams. Some of you kind of had some sort of predictions. And, there was some interesting stuff that I've kind of got up my sleeve, but I feel like it is almost a little bit predictable, but I feel like it's also a really, really solid fit. We're not going to worry about Oliver Cobb there. So yeah, let's get into this first show. And I'm really looking forward to actually booking this. I haven't actually, decided how I'm going to do it properly. But I'm hoping it's just going to like come to me as we start booking. Anyway, we do have Angry Gilmore here passing on tips on the microphone to Bowden Snoop. And of course, Bowden has chilly momentum at the moment. So pretty funny. Again, we got no more meddling to do. Don't really have anything to do in regards to our backstage. We are expecting over 10,000 fans for this show. Now that I find very interesting. Of course, our popularity is now 75 in Ontario. Now, another thing I need to mention is I did say in the last 2 episodes, I believe, that I was going to run these TV shows in Alberta. Now, obviously, I'm not doing that. We're sticking to Ontario. But we are only 2 points of popularity away from 35, which is what we require for Alberta to get on the pay-per-view broadcaster that we want to get on. Anyway, we do need to sort out the storylines a little bit as well. But I think we'll do that after this first show. Now, I did say that I wanted to do Maddie Faith potentially against Davis Wayne Newton. Do I do it now? I don't think I do it now, actually. Let's not do it now. We'll do it in the next show. But we need him to beat somebody decent. Maybe Zeus. Zeus does have 69 popularity, though. I feel like that's maybe just a little bit too far. I mean, Brody could be a... Actually, maybe we go with Doc Hammond. So, Maddie Faith, Doc Hammond. I want to give it 20 minutes. It's not going to be the main event, but it is going to tell a story. I do think we can call, because I think Maddie has about 70-something, 74 psychology. And I guess it'll be tainted. It's not going to be an outside interference finish, but there is going to be interference in the match onto Doc. And it is going to be by the first member of our new stable. They are going to be called Faith No More. Of course, that is a rock band in real life. I feel like it's pretty fitting with Maddie Faith. His last name is Faith, and Faith No More. And they're essentially going to be a bit of a rock stable, if you will. Not exactly in the mold of 3MB, three-man band, but it's going to be Charlie Corner coming to the aid of his new leader, Maddie Faith. That's how we're going to at least start off this stable. So it's going to consist of 2 members, essentially. But let me book the main event here as well. It's going to be a tag team match. We're going to go with the Golden Goats, and they're going to be taking on Mobstar and Mighty Kavanaugh, in which their team is going to lose. And we are going to have Davis pinning Kavanaugh. I am thinking about doing something with Mobstar as well, potentially, for a stable of his own. I was thinking about calling them the Hit Squad and trying to bring in some people that sort of fit that hardcore sort of hired gun mold where they would, you know, like to take people out. Anyway, match can be called slow built, decisive. Should be a really good main event, to be honest. I don't see it, you know, not performing well. But that is a lot of time already taken up, 44 minutes. And of course, there's going to be a lot of angles with these two matches as well. Anyway, we do need #1 contenders for our tag team titles. So what I would like to do is maybe have, let's go Los Hermanos 3, because that is the best pairing there. And I think I want them to take on the Moneymakers. So 12 minutes, this will be storytelling as well. We'll give Steven the victory there. And our new #1 contenders for the pay-per-view will be the Moneymakers. I did book that correctly, didn't I? Yes, okay. What else do we need? Look at storylines, because obviously some storylines are now finished. So what we'll do is we'll take Mobstar out of there. I mean, we'll just add him into this one, because this is kind of the world title storyline. And we'll change it up a bit. We'll take out Diaz and, of course, Goldstein. Actually, I might leave Goldstein in there, because I think he's going to run a bit of a program in the next month, depending on what our next pay-per-view is, actually. I need to check, because we do have our tournament coming up as well. Anyway, let's just call this the Unified. Just simple storyline name. That's our Unified World title. We'll continue everything else. I think that's all good. Although, we can take Graham out of here. You know what I might do? I might add Doc Hammond into here. And I might also add Giant Brody. I think they can essentially take on Wall Street Enterprises. But first, they're gonna take on, what do you call him? John Greed. Well, at least maybe Doc and potentially Giant Brody afterwards. And then they might all come together next month as well. For maybe a 2-on-3 handicap. But that's talking into the future, and I'll probably forget that. Anyway, continue booking. I mean, in saying that, we could probably do... We need a mid-card title sort of storyline as well. And it might be time that we push a Sono up a little bit as well. So let's have a Sono take on Gary Walker, #1 contenders match for the Canadian title. Sono's going to win. It's going to be by distraction, though. So it's going to be tainted. Yeah, so our distraction is going to come from, obviously, Deanna Desire. I don't think it doesn't necessarily need to be the finish of the match, but just, you know, she's basically distracting him around ringside constantly, which I feel like would kind of make sense. I think we'll do a 6-man tag in here as well for our... We did have an interesting suggestion from one of the commenters in the last episode. That was to have Jack Jackson, Zach Powerson, and Cupid Christie form a stable. And essentially, he sees them as frat boys. I feel like that could almost be a stable name. Maybe like the Frat Pack or something like that. At least for a little while, because obviously I've got sort of individual plans for them once their push, the main event, has actually been completed. But I think for now, I'm almost kind of down to do that as an idea. Anyway, I think they're going to take on some really solid competitors in this match. They are going to lose, obviously, but it's going to be a good match. And I think I do want to give Angry Gilmore a victory here. I feel like that's pretty important. And I'm assuming it's probably just going to be Zach that loses this match. Either way, it doesn't matter too much. And see, we're already at 85 minutes. So I think I want to book a few angles here. So obviously the Golden Goats are going to have an angle for themselves. That'll be pre-main event, scripted as well. You know me, I love my 8-minute angles. So that'll be Unified World title. But then we need I guess the start of our new stable with Maddie Faith. So this needs to essentially come after his match, I assume. So I think we only need... Actually, should we go into double entertainment? Try and get a bit of rub off onto to Charlie as well. That could be a decent idea. And we'll actually create a storyline so they actually get some success as well. But let's have... Let me type this one in. Maddie Faith begins the search for members to his new stable. Charlie Corner is the first member. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Alright, there we go. So let me book that, and I'll go in and make a storyline for them. Maybe I won't give away who else is in it. But let's call it Faith No More. Maddie, Charlie, and like I said, I did say in the last episode that it's basically us utilizing somebody that needs to be utilized. Charlie Corner, he's still really young. I think he's only 20. Let's have a look. He's 23 or 24. 22. There we go. He does actually have really good popularity as well, which I find ridiculous, but got super good charisma, really good star quality. Entertainment skills are also... They're kind of there. Microphone's a little bit low. But his 57 psychology, I've barely used the guy. He's irrepressible as well. So he's got a really good sort of personality. And he also kind of fits the same exact mold as Maddie Faith. Maddie Faith has superior brawling skills. And then the rest of his skills are all about the same. And they're all sort of well-rounded, like Charlie Corner's. Even though Charlie's is much, much lower. He's also got 71 basics. Obviously, selling is a big issue, but he's 22. And I need to use him. He's also got 36 popularity, which I don't really understand how he has that popularity. Because I've literally jobbed him out more or less his whole career. I think he might have about 2 or 3 victories in 3 years. Nearly 4 years, technically. So... yeah, it's an interesting one, but we are indeed going to use him, and I'm pretty happy to use him as well. Anyway, let's go an angle here. We're going to use all 3 members of Wall Street Enterprises. Hopefully, in the hope that we can actually boost up John Greed a little bit as well. I think having Jackpot Jordan be the most popular member of the group it's a little bit strange. It's a little bit strange. I'm not exactly against it by any stretch of the imagination, but I just think that's just a little bit strange, just a little bit. Anyway, for our starting angle, see, I wanted to give it to, I guess, the frat pack, call them unofficially, which is of course our new boys. Just not 100% sure if I should give the angle to them or if I should give it to the other team, because if I give it to Goldstein, Gilmore, and Gorman, I mean Gorman doesn't have to speak, but if I give it to them, it's going to be a much better angle. You know what I could do? Let's use all 6. Let's at least put all 6 in there. So let's go Aussie Goldstein, Angry Gilmore, and I guess Graham will be in there as well. Then let's go Zach, Jack, and of course Cooper as well. So entertainment. I mean, I guess we don't. Yeah, no. Let's script it. I just want to just in case. Do I want to go Cooper as well? I think I do want to go Cooper. If we can try and boost his entertainment skills up a little bit, I think he'd actually be better off. So I guess that can also advance this storyline as well. Probably add in Jack to there as well. Alright, so there's Jack. jumping in with the new boys. I feel like that's pretty good. Although I do maybe want to change up that storyline and actually take Cooper out and actually have a sort of mid-card title storyline going. But we'll talk about that later. Anyway, up next, I think let's just go with Gary Walker. I mean, poor guy deserves some angle time. So there we go. We'll give it to him. And that's 125 minutes. So we are good to go. I actually like the show. I feel like it's got a couple of really good matches. This one needs to go there, though. Alright, in that case, let's switch these two matches around. That there. And then we'll do a double angle. That was the wrong angle. And that needs to go one more. There we go. That fits a little bit better with the whole show. The show flow, I think. Alright. Up next, I think we are... Yeah, let's use the Rock City Stars. They can take on... Maybe the Crew. Yeah, they can take on the Crew. Give it 12 minutes. I think we'll have... Yeah, we'll have the Crew lose. Of course, they're already coming off their tag team title opportunity, shall we say. I'm not gonna be too worried about them. Maybe not. Get away with it? Yes, we can. Perfect. All right, let's do one more pre-show match. Probably just want... Actually, let's do a six-man. We'll get Zombie Boy in there as well. Although that could be a bit risky, now that I think about it. Actually, having Zombie Boy go up against actual teams is bad, because then everybody in the match has to call it. And basically, no one in this match is going to be able to call it. Seeing as that's the case, I don't think I want to actually use Young and Wasted. Who else? Let's go Charlie Corner. Yeah. I know he can't call either, so it kind of defeats the purpose of me taking out someone that can't call as well. But yeah, let's actually give Charlie the victory. Because I think he has cooled momentum at the moment. Does need to be called as well. I just don't like calling matches when I know people don't have the required psychology. It just feels so cheap. Yeah, so there was a lot of psychology problems. Anyway, doesn't matter too much. Let's run the show. All right, so we started with a 62. That's actually really good considering. Fair play. Okay, so we got James Diaz, Giant Brody, and Charlie Corner defeating Forces of Darkness, or Zombie Boy, Original Sinner, and Wicked Lester in 11:32 when Charlie Corner pinned Original Sinner with a corner cutter. And of course, Diaz head and shoulders above everybody else with a solid 75 in-ring performance. Of course, we get the psychology penalties there. And the second pre-show match also getting a 62, where we have the Rock City Stars defeating the Crew in 11:44 when Rock and Ryan Turner pinned Papa Swole with a 6-string shooter. It's an okay match. I mean, obviously, two sort of mid-card tag teams. Alright, we then kick off the show with a big 6-man angle. Of course, we got a unofficial frat pack there, along with some solid main eventers, if you will. And of course, it gets a 70, which is... Did I script some people and then not script others, or did I just script everybody? I can't remember. I have a weird feeling. Let me look at... I can't look at... Damn it. Maybe I didn't. I don't... Actually, maybe I changed it. I can't remember. I literally can't remember about, less than 5 minutes ago. Anyway, it's a pretty good angle, at least for these guys. Hopefully it will actually boost up their popularity, because it is a 70 rated angle. And of course, they go into their match, which also does pretty well, getting a 62. And we do have Ozzy Goldstein, Graham Gorman, and Angry Gilmore defeating Jack Jackson, Zach Powerson, and Cupid Christie in 10:06 when Angry Gilmore pinned Zach Powerson with a sky-high elbow. I haven't really seen him use that finisher all that much, the sky-high elbow. So it's an interesting one. Usually he uses anger management. Anyway, unfortunate to see that Zach Powelson was really off his game. I really want him to just start developing, because I really want him to get up to being our figurehead. I feel like it would be really beneficial for the company overall. Anyway, we move on to an 83 rated angle from Gary Walker. Really should be using this guy more. I know it. I'm sure you guys know it as well. It's just, he's been in the tag team Feel Good Inc. for quite some time. I'm actually finding it difficult to take him out of it. Partly because I feel like we need more tag teams. It might be something we look into in this episode, or maybe even for next episode. There was one tag team that I had my eye on, off camera, that I was looking at, which would actually fit Mobstar's stable, if you will. Anyway, moving to the number 1 contenders match for the Canadian title. Gets a 64 rating there. We do have Yuta Osono defeating Gary Walker in 11:36 by pinfall with an Osono face melter after Deanna Desire caused another distraction in the match. Of course, like I said, she was causing all kinds of problems for Gary Walker. Distracting the referee, distracting him, grabbing at his ankles when he was running into the ropes. Just doing all kinds of things to try and get Osono, that number 1 contendership. And he eventually pulled it off. Again, cheating to win. Doesn't seem all that noble from Yuta Osono. Alright, we then go straight into another singles match, which does really well, getting a 70. As you can see, both their in-ring performances a little bit lower than 70, so definitely well booked and well performed. We have Maddie Faith defeating Doc Hammond in 1953 by pinfall with a leap of faith following interference from Charlie Corner. So Charlie helps Maddie Faith get the victory, and of course, we know what's going to happen up next. Alright, it's not as good as I thought it was, but then again, I think we did rate Charlie Corner, so he gets a 54 rating for our angle here. And of course, we have Maddie Faith beginning his search. So he announces the new stable, he announces Faith No More, and of course, he says that he's beginning the search for new members, and he says that young Charlie Corner is the first member in the group. Okay, so I guess from now on, I should probably script these angles if Charlie is speaking. Actually, I think it kind of makes sense for me to maybe script all sort of stable angles, just so they're all, I guess, on the same level, and the angle can't really be penalized, if you will. I think that's kind of a good idea. Anyway, it's something I'm going to think about, I guess, going forward. Anyway, we move on to I messed that up, didn't I? I meant to do Jackpot. Anyway, it's actually not too bad, because I guess Jack Jackson will have 2 70 rated angles. But just imagine that's Jackpot Jordan and not Jack Jackson. Anyway, I was wondering why. I knew there was something wrong, because I actually saw it when I finished booking the angle. I was like, why doesn't that say Wall Street Enterprises for the angle? Now I know why. Anyway, it's a pretty straightforward angle, or it would be if Jackpot was actually in it. And of course, we go into a really, really good match, a 70 rated tag team match. And of course, our new number 1 contenders, we have the Moneymakers defeating Los Hermanos 3 in 11:38 when Stephen Parker pinned Ray Cavallero with a Make It Rain. Interesting. Is that new? I think that's new. I'm pretty sure that's new. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Stephen Parker and Jackpot Jordan got a tag team specialist bonus. Is that because they were both in tag teams previously? Have I been missing that? I'm going to have to go back and look through the episodes. I don't remember ever seeing that, though. Maybe I'm just completely unaware. But I feel like I would have talked about it. Obviously, I know that Rich and Famous is, Jackpot's former tag team. I'm not too sure about Stephen Parker, but I'm pretty sure he was also in a tag team with someone. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They are our new #1 contenders for the tag team titles. All right, we then go into the pre-main event angle, getting us an 87 rating here. So, as we'd expect from the Golden Goats, they're doing what they do best. They're really putting in some solid effort there. And basically, Davis is saying that he needs Zeus's help tonight. They're back to being friends again, and they're doing well again. They're doing well together. They want to capitalize here tonight. And I have to say, that's a really solid main event. We get an 85 rated main event here for our first TV show of the month. And we do have the Golden Goats defeating Mobstar and Mighty Kavanaugh in 20 minutes, 7 seconds, when Davis Wayne Newton pinned Mighty Kavanaugh with a fisherman suplex. And yeah, I mean, obviously, it's interesting that Davis was head and shoulders above everybody else, with Kavanaugh being the weak link. I find that a little strange. And I mean, have to look at Zeus, man. An 81 for a 40... Is he 46? He might be 46 now. Actually, or is he younger? Actually, maybe Zeus is a little bit younger. We'll check that in a second here. But he got an 81 for a 20-minute match. And he got penalized probably... Yeah, so he got penalized for declining physical ability. But he didn't get penalized for stamina, which is interesting. Obviously, Kavanaugh getting penalized there for low morale, which is really frustrating, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm really happy with an 85 there. All right, so we end the show. We get an 82 overall show rating there. Again, increasing our popularity in Ontario as well, which just seems absolutely crazy, considering we're already 75 popularity. But you know what? I'm not complaining. I am not complaining. The more popularity we get, the higher attendances we're going to get as well. And of course, we need the 77 popularity across 5 regions of Canada. So if we can take one of those down straight away, that would be pretty good. All right, let's have a look here. Now, I do want to check Zeus's age. All right, so we've got 396, almost 397,000 viewers there. That's pretty decent. Pretty decent. Take a quick look here at CWA. And of course, they have the mob. Aaron Knight, Sunny Wildside, defeating Shooter Sean Dealey and Mikey Lau, getting a 99. There we go. 98 rated show. They had an 87 rated match on their pre-show. Okay. Anyway, let's make the stable. So first of all, we need to go Faith No More. It is going to be a faction. Is it? Yeah, it's going to be... I guess it's going to be a faction. It would have to be a faction, essentially. So Faith is going to be the leader. Charlie is going to be just a member. I don't think we are... Well, I was about to put in the next entrance, but that's fine. I feel like, I mean, they just look like they're supposed to be together, which was one of the comments in the previous episode. There we go. And they'll get their next 2 members right now as well. Okay, so let me have a look at the size. We are up to 76 popularity in Ontario. I don't like the fact that we didn't rise in Alberta, though. So I was really hoping by the end of this month that we would be at 35. So I'm a little bit worried about that. I might run this 3rd show of the episode. I might run that in Alberta. If we don't go up to 34 in this next one, I think we'll... I know I didn't look at Zeus, but yeah, if we don't get the point of popularity increase in Alberta for this next TV show, I will run our 3rd show of the episode in Alberta. There we go. I finally got it out. Anyway, I'm just going to take a quick sip of water here. Alright, so I think that was a really good show, to be fair. I'm very impressed. I have to say, Matty Faith, I was pretty hesitant about signing him. And I feel like he's already outperformed my expectations, like 100%. And I don't actually think he's that good either. So I don't... Obviously, it has a lot to do with his brawling. He's got 75 brawling. I think anybody with brawling that good. And then the rest of his primary skills are also in the 50s. So, he's doing pretty well for himself. The only downside is his basics and his psychology are both already capped, I think, at about the 75, 74 area. If he was 80-80, like 80 basics, 80 psychology, he would be as good as Davis, essentially. And I have no doubt about that, because he has really good... he has really, really good charisma, and of course, star quality as well. Who is this guy? I've never seen this guy, so he must have come through... Yeah, so he's come through Kashmir Singh's. His dojo. Obviously being Indian. I might check him out. What was his name? Murugan? Or Murugan? Let's check him out. We might ask him to come and work. He has a really, really cool mask, I have to say. Definitely wasn't expecting such a nice mask to be on a worker that's not really in the game. Ooh, Hollywood Brett Starr. Okay. Okay. How much? It's not going to be that expensive. Alright, what else have we got? So Willie LaRue's actually coming in now. Willie LaRue and Hollywood Brett Starr would make a pretty decent team as well. Emma Chase is a color commentator, I think. I might have to sign her as well. If we can. She's going to be a little bit more difficult. And she's too popular. That's unfortunate. Okay, we'll delete her out of there. Now, Captain Canada, there was a lot of talk about bringing him back in. I think we will. I think we will. I did really like him back in the day. And it was only because of the sort of morale issues at the start of the series. But let's go into Brett Starr here. I would love to sign him. He's only 32 as well, so I think... What, an 8-year contract wouldn't be out of the question, to be honest. But I want to go 8. Yeah, I suppose I would, to be fair. See, that's not that expensive. I mean, we can probably get him for about 55,000. I'm going to go. I'm going to go for it. I'll show you his profile again in a second, but he looks pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. They're already going in... They're going in pretty hard as well. So 20% per event. I guess let's go 39,000. And then I guess a 39,000 bonus there as well. Was it 35 for merchandise? Yeah, it was. Oh wow, he wants 42. Okay. Big boy. Alright, so we've got the best offer at the moment. But Hollywood Brett Starr, man, that would be already super popular as well. So I don't have to build him. 89 psychology, which is massive. Basics are a little bit low. But 80 is... I mean, Davis has like 80 something. 84, I think, basics. But dude, him on the microphone, guaranteed 100 rated angles. Guaranteed. He's also got better brawling than Matty Faith. And it's actually improved over the last year as well. That's pretty crazy. I really want to sign this guy, man. I know he has unpredictable, but I think we should just go straight in. We have a look at Captain Canada. Does he have a tag team with anybody? He does, with Americana Jr. Obviously, we are... I don't think we'll bring him in right now. Let's try and get Brett Starr. I'll probably forget about Captain Canada, so I guess if you somehow remember, make sure you let me or remind me in a future episode. But yeah, really wasn't expecting Hollywood Brett Starr. Not gonna lie. Okay, Kavanaugh's not here as well, so that kind of ruins. I know I say that every time he's not here, but it's gonna kind of ruin my plan I had for tonight's show. Anyway, what I will do is our main event for this one. It's a pretty simple one. It's just gonna be Zeus taking on Mobstar. I feel like it's almost what always happens to an extent with the competitors. We will keep it at 16. Actually, should I just go 20? Because obviously he's going to be penalized for stamina no matter what. Would it make more sense to go longer? Because I don't think it's going to be a worse penalty. Maybe it will. I don't actually know. Maybe it will. Maybe I'll just go 16. Let's try and keep it safe, or somewhat safe, I guess. So Mobstar's going to win. I don't think it needs to be tainted. I think it can be decisive. So let's go decisive with that. That's the main event. What do I want next? We're going to go a tag team match. Let's have a warm-up match for the Moneymakers. They're going to be taking on the Rock City Stars. Might go 16 for this as well. Oh, no, I just went 18, but let's go 16 for this as well. And we're going to have an interesting victory here as well. I think we can call this match, can't we? I think both Stan... Yeah, of course. They've actually improved, or Stan has at least quite a bit. I mean, they both actually have improved a little bit. Probably not over, like, the last year. I mean, it kind of. I mean, they've gotten some psychology. Stan's up to, like, 82 basics as well. But he looks like he's capped at psychology. Anyway, back to what I was doing. This one's going to be slow built with a tainted victory as well. And we're going to have an interference onto Stephen Parker by, you guessed it, Maddie Faith. So Maddie's going to get involved in this match as well. And our loser is going to have to be Stephen Parker. So, there we go. Our new members. Ooh, Stephen's upset. Let's keep him strong, I guess. I mean, it really doesn't matter. There we go. So yeah, you guessed it. Our next two stable members are going to be... I guess we may as well just add them in straight away. It's going to be Rock and Ryan Turner. And Stan Manor, of course, the Rock City Stars. There we go. I really like this stable, man. I feel like it's got a lot of potential. Maybe even more potential than Wall Street Enterprises. As far as, you know, going up the card. I really feel like solid tag team in Rock City Stars. Solid main event talent in Maddie Faith. And a solid mid-card talent in Charlie Corner. It almost feels pretty perfect, if I'm being honest. Okay, so... what else are we doing? That's a good question, because I really don't kind of know. Let's do a 6-man tag again. But this time let's have Cuba Christie, Jack, and Zach. So what did I call them? They are the Frat Pack. And I guess they can take on Sono, obviously. And then I guess a Sono can maybe be joined by... I don't really know who we can be joined by, to be honest. I kind of want to go Jobbers, but at the same time, I kind of don't. We also have Willie LaRue, so I need to do something with him as well. He does have really good entertainment stats, so maybe we just give him an angle on this show. I know I just completely exit out of everything I already just did. Really frustrating. Anyway, Cooper, Jack, and Zach. And I guess we will just go for Jobbers. Because, I mean, there's not really anybody else for them to verse. So I guess we'll go with our resident Jobber tag team. There we go. And I think we'll give the victory to... Give it to Jack. I was going to go Zach, but really, the thing with the, like, it's hard to say. The thing with Zach is, I want to push him really bad, but he's just so not ready that it doesn't really make sense for me to push him as hard right now, if that makes sense. So he doesn't need to get the victories. He'll probably take most of the pinfall losses, not to an extent that it's going to affect him badly. Like, every now and then he'll take a loss. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just make that nice and decisive there. So that's fine. That kind of works out pretty well. Yeah, that can stay there. Let's just go a singles match for Giant Brody in here. He can take on Gonzalez. I want to go. Actually, let's go Maddie Faith. I'm pushing Maddie. What's Brody's? I mean, there's only what 5 popularity between them. Let's have Maddie get the victory. It will be clean. This one can be clean. It is going to be 12 minutes though, so it's not really too bad or anything. I guess maybe Giant Brody could be. Maybe actually, let's have Brody win. I kind of want Brody to cheat. Actually, now that I think about it, instead of decisive, let's go tainted. And I think Giant Brody will be Maddie Faith's first competitor at this next pay-per-view. I know he already had a match against Asono, but I guess the first storyline, if you will, because at the moment we're sort of in a stable building storyline, and Giant Brody's not really doing anything. He's not actually going to be involved with the Moneymakers yet, because of course Doc Hammond is going to be involved with John Greed. So what I'll do here, actually, we'll give Doc a match against Graham Gorman. Actually, that's too weird. Let's not do Graham Gorman. Let's go let's go Goldstein. Let's go Goldstein. I feel like that works. 12. Yeah, 12 is fine. I'm gonna have Aussie win. It's gonna be open called Tainted. There's going to be an attack onto Doc by John Greed. So this will kick off their storyline. It's basically just going to be back and forth between those two. I guess we can put this match maybe down there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We're actually kind of at the amount of time that I want to be at. So let's do angles first. Let's go a Mobstar angle. By himself, 8 minutes, perfectly fine. That'll be pre-main event, and then I think we'll go. Let's go with the Rock City Stars. Let's go Rock and Ryan Turner and Stan Manor. They can have some more success, just in case they don't already have it. Because they're going to be taken out of the tag division storyline, which they've pretty much been in since they came to the company. So that's pretty funny. But obviously, the involvement of Maddie Faith is kind of a clear indicator after last week, and I guess we'll actually give all of them together an angle on the third show of this episode. So don't worry about that. We'll explain it in the next one. Let's have Maddie kick things off, maybe with Charlie. We will script both of them this time. And like I said, we just want to bring Charlie, bring his momentum back up as well. Which I feel like will be pretty important, because he did have that cool momentum. So giving him some success in these angles, especially if he's talking, I feel like that's pretty fitting. And I guess our final angle can be go with Lucinda Cooper, because we didn't use Lucinda in that last angle. Go Jack, and we'll go Zach. And again, we're going to script all these people. It just seems with these sort of I know they're not an actual stable, but they're an unofficial stable. It seems fitting that I should actually script them. So it makes sense. And they're all in the same storyline now as well. Maybe we will make them an official stable, maybe in the next episode. Possibly, or the episode after, maybe. Anyway, let's actually have John Greed cut an angle onto Doc before his match. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. And that'll kick off their storyline together as well, which I really like. So there we go. Hopefully that'll be able to bring up John Greed, at least this whole storyline with Doc, and then eventually next month with Giant Brody in there as well. So I think we're missing storytelling. Zach is being used far too much. Okay. That's a bit of a problem. 8 out of 10. That'd be, what, 18? So we need to lower the angle here as well, down to 6. Should be fine. No, still being used. Was he being used? Oh. 9-minute match? That's pretty ugly. No, still being overused. Did he really lose that much popularity? That's Cooper. They always get them mistaken because they look very, very similar. It looks like he did actually lose some popularity. Maybe not. Still 31. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird, because he had a match. Was he in the angle? Hold on. Go back. Yeah, he was in the angle. I'm so confused right now. He was in the angle, which went for 8 minutes. And he was also in the match, which went for 10 minutes. Did his push change? I guess his push, yeah, must have changed. Maybe with yeah, I don't know. Maybe with Willie LaRue coming in, he dropped down again. I don't know. I guess with that being the case, let's take him out of the angle, I guess. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Anyway, he's just going to miss out. That just basically lowers his popularity gains for now as well, which also kind of sucks. Anyway, storytelling match. Let's just go for... I was going to go that match, but I don't really want to do that one. I guess we may as well just go with this match as well. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of a storyline going. A bit of a story in that match anyway. At least between Cooper, maybe Osono targeting Cooper Christie, because obviously he will be facing him at the pay-per-view. Alright, what else do we need here? I think that might be it, actually. Yeah, we've pretty much got an angle for every match, or every storyline. Let's do a cheeky 6-man. Let's have Angry Gilmore team up with the Golden Goats. Obviously, it is the pre-show. Oh, we can't do the Golden Goats. That's fine. We'll go Davis, and Davis can be partnered by... Go Diaz. It's like a sort of a dream team. You've got the senior, you've got the middle age, and you've got the youngster in there. Pretty cool, if you ask me. I think they can actually take on... Have them take on Young and Wasted, and maybe they can be partnered by Willie LaRue. I mean, I have to say that that's a pretty good first match, you know, to be going up against these types of guys. We'll give Davis the victory. Not Davis, Diaz. That looks pretty good. Let's just go for that. Let's run the show. Gonna be a long episode otherwise. Alright, so we start off with a 75 rated pre-show match. Angry Gilmore, Davis Wayne Newton, and James Diaz defeating Willie LaRue and Young and Wasted in 12:04, when James Diaz pinned Taylor Norton with an Asian thumb spike. And obviously Davis head and shoulders above everybody else, and Willie struggling to keep up. Even though he did get a 46, so still pretty good. Debuting his fast-talking hustler gimmick. getting an initial rating of great. So that's really good to see. You know, the gimmicks are definitely, they play a big part and they can have a real big sort of penalty as well. And as you can see, no pros and cons with this gimmick either. So I'm happy about that. Anyway, let's move on to the show. We kick things off with Faith No More, of course, only consisting at the moment of Maddie Faith and Charlie Corner. We get a 55. It's not too bad considering Charlie is in the angle. So, yeah, obviously it would be a little bit higher if it was just Maddie Faith. But again, we can't really worry about just him at the moment because we want to try and bring Charlie up into that mid-card level while we are actively, you know, trying to push Maddie towards the upper mid sort of main event level, which is actually not too far off upper mid at the moment. All right, his match. This is what I'm talking about. 69 rated match is very decent. Anyway, we have Giant Brody defeating Maddie Faith in 11:48 by pinfall after using a foreign object. So let's say, for example, maybe Maddie Faith was doing all he could against Giant Brody in the match, just couldn't beat the big man down. Brought a steel chair into the ring, didn't get to use it. Giant Brody steals the steel chair while the referee's down, hits Maddie Faith, gets the 1, 2, 3 once the referee comes back. And yeah, basically cheats to win. Of course, Faith suffering his first loss in the company. Is it his first loss? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, but he'll get some revenge against Brody at the pay-per-view. But as you can see, 61 for Brody and a 64 in-ring there for Maddie. They still got a 69, so it's only a 12-minute match and it's well booked. So I'm happy about that. That's kind of what I'm talking about. All right, we then go into a 50 rated angle for Cooper Christie, Jack Jackson, and Lucinda Lush, leading into their 6-man tag, which gets a solid 52, considering, you know, I mean, apart from Masono, they're basically facing jobbers, so it is what it is. 52, I think, is pretty fair, considering. And of course, we have Cooper Christie, Jack Jackson, and Zach Powerson defeating Yuta Osono, Bowden Snoop, and Robin Newman in 12:16, when Jack Jackson pinned Robin Newman with an implant DDT. Yeah, it's a good match. Christie outperforming everybody with a 54, and of course, Osono just behind him with a 49. All right, we then go into a 73 rated angle from John Greed. And of course, he cuts a promo onto Doc Hammond. I guess basically calls him washed up. Says that he just really doesn't have what it takes anymore. You know, people can visibly see him deteriorating in the ring. You know, fans are starting to go against Doc Hammond a little bit. Basically, John Greed just says, you know, he's got everything going for him. He's got the money. He's got the number one contender tag team as a part of his enterprise. He basically says that Doc's got nothing. And that's a good match. We go into an 82 rated match. I mean, I can't believe that's an 82 for a 12-minute match. Ozzy Goldstein defeating Doc Hammond in 11:45 by pinfall with a golden shower following interference from John Greed. So John getting involved, essentially trying to, I guess, prove a point that Doc is kind of past it a little bit. But in doing so, maybe the fans have started to realize maybe Doc isn't quite past it. I mean, with a match this good, kind of doesn't look like he's past it. Anyway, we've got a 79 in-ring there from Goldstein, who also has a gimmick that is getting stale. Mental note. Okay. We move on to a 75 rated angle here from the Rock City Stars. That's a pretty good angle. Rock and Ryan Turner doing a masterful job of improvising interactions with the crowd. And of course, Stan Manor struggled. So of course, one member of the tag team, you know, profiting from having no script, and the other failing. Okay. Basically, they have a bit of a cryptic angle here, a bit of a cryptic promo before their match. Basically saying that, you know, they're going to see something new from the Rock City Stars tonight. And that's another 75 rating there. 75 rating for the tag team match itself, and we do have the Rock City Stars defeating the current #1 contenders, the Moneymakers, in 15:46 when Stan Manor pinned Stephen Parker with a rock and roller following interference from Alexander Robinson. I messed that up, didn't I? Sometimes I frustrate myself. Let's ignore that one. Just delete that one from your memory. And yeah, during the match we had Maddie Faith run in and attack Parker. Hence the reason for the loss for the Moneymakers. And of course, the establishment of our newest stable in completion, I would say. The 4 members at the moment, I think, is good enough. Anyway, as you can see, Stephen Parker seemed off his game. But yeah, Jackpot with a solid 75 in-ring. Good to see both members of Rock City Stars getting 62s as well. So it's a 75 rating. It's very, very good. Very good for tag team wrestling. All right, we then go into the pre-main event angle, getting an 85 rating there from Mobstar. Very, very impressive. But again, it's Mobstar. We should kind of expect this from him. He is very talented. He's also starting to get very over. I think he's at 74 popularity, 73, something like that. And as you can see, improvising well. Basically, he says he's going to basically touch up Davis's tag team partner, Zeus, in the main event tonight. And the main event, also doing pretty well. Getting a solid enough 83 rating there. We do have Mobstar defeating Zeus Maximilian in 16-17 by pinfall with a flattener DDT. It's a good match. Obviously, Zeus not as good a performance as his last one, only getting a 74 this time. But we did have Mobstar with an 85, so I think an 85 is pretty good. Anyway, let's end the show. Get an 81 for this show, so only 1 point lower than the last show, which I would say it's pretty fitting. Pretty fitting. It's about the same type of show, really. I mean, we had a couple of really good matches. I mean, Goldstein, this tag team match between the Rock City Stars and Moneymakers, and of course the main event. There were some good matches. Obviously, not as many good angles as we would like to see, which would boost up that overall show rating a little bit. But it's still pretty good. I think both show. I mean, like I said at the start of the episode, I came into this episode wanting to do storyline stuff, and it's actually paid off. And I said that we we're probably gonna get some low-rated shows, but it doesn't seem that way at the moment. Anyway, we got a rival offer here. Ooh, 55,000. They're playing hardball. That was what I wanted to pay. So we're gonna have to go up to at least 57,500. He has a better offer. How is their offer better? I feel like our offer is better. It literally is better, so I don't understand that. Let's try 58. Still has a better offer. I mean, I'm literally going to go up by $1,000 increments until we... Wow, he's actually doing this. I'll boost this up to 40,000 as well. That's... 1 or 2 offers. I want to get him, man. I really want to get him. He's literally in the prime of his career right now. Let me try... I mean, let's just go up by 1,000s. Until we get the better offer. This is frustrating. It's going to be expensive, man. It's going to be real expensive. But then again, at the same time, Hollywood Brett Starr, AC Glenn. I have to say that's a pretty formidable main event. Throw in Davis in there as well. Ooh-wee. I'm up to 66,000 and he still doesn't want to take our offer. Or is he just like flat out gonna basically reject everything we throw at him? All right, so we're pretty much at 70,000 now. So I don't want to do 700. That would be bad. Let me bump this up to 50. Still only one of the two offers, man. I mean, what do I do? All right, I can't physically go higher than 70. Oh, but I want him so bad. I want him so bad. Oh man, this sucks. This absolutely sucks. God damn it. I don't like that. I wish we could have just got him. Or at least had the upper hand in the negotiations. Anyway, Coalition Wrestling shown in front of over 400,000 there, so that's pretty cool, but I am frustrated. I am severely frustrated about that. We're up to 70,000 with a $50,000 bonus. We're literally like almost double their bonus, their signing bonus. Maybe I should have kept it at about 60, maybe 62,000 and just given him an extra 10% bonus. Damn it, I should have done that. Because the extra 10% I think has the bonus that you give them for events, like percentage-wise, seems to have a larger effect on the actual negotiation itself. Now, I'm frustrated, man. If we don't get him, I'm going to be very, very frustrated. I mean, now that we're up to 70,000, I don't exactly want to give him... Oh, no. Oh, crap. That's not good. Now everybody's in for him. It's fallen apart. We're falling apart at the seams. Okay, well, technically, we still actually have the... They're up to 57,000 bonus. Should I just go back in? Going back in, man. I'm going back in. Let's go 30%. Let's just do it. We're almost on pay-per-view. Let's just do it. He's still not considering us over them. I do not understand. Anyway, there we go. Get yourself 30% if you want a Brett Starr. It's there for you. Alright, we got Princeton Price, who is also very, very talented. He's a CWA worker. Only 28 as well. Oh, that's a tough one as well. I really would like to sign him as well. Super talented, but I mean, our roster is kind of getting a little bit bloated at the moment. I'm not going to lie. You know what I'll do? I'm going to put an offer in. I'm going to put an offer in no matter what, right? What I want to do is just drive up the price for CWA, no matter what. So we're driving up their price. Let's do that. And basically what I'll do is if we don't get Brett Starr, then I'll focus all my attention on a Princeton Price and we'll go hard. So let's go 30,000. 30,000 sign on. Hopefully he's not going to just come straight out and want to come to us, you know what I mean? Because that would throw a bit of a spanner in the works of my whole negotiation strategy that I'm trying to implement right now. First show. Per month. I was about to pay him $30,000 per show. Ooh, that would have been bad. Anyway, he wants even more money. 31,300. Okay, so we've got the better offer there, so they're gonna have to renegotiate no matter what, which is good. It's good. Let's advance 2 days. I mean, a lot can happen in 2 days. Let's be real. I'm wondering if TCW, EILL, if they're all gonna come with more, renegotiations for Brett Starr. Man, I want him so bad. You don't understand. I feel like he would easily be our best talent. Like even above the GOAT. And that's sort of saying something because the popularity that Brett Starr would be able to develop for himself would be Angry Gilmore type levels. And the only reason why Davis has the 87 popularity is essentially because he took it away from Angry Gilmore. So, yep, they've all changed their bid updates, but they're not good enough. So it's looking like it's literally just us. Yeah. I mean, like I said, let's just hope he comes. Anyway, let's have a look at Princeton price here. All right, what have they got? So they've gone big. They've gone big as well. Let's go 36,000. So he still says it's going to be one or two offers. Go 37. And I kind of just want to go 40 straight up because, like I said, just try and find the sweet spot again. Probably won't find it, but 40,000. Okay, there we go. So we actually got in front of the negotiations as well. I mean, Princeton price would actually be a pretty good sort of backup. Oh, interesting. Samuel Curran. I mean, he's only 70 announcing, which is actually worse. Oh, interesting. Jillian Jarvis being signed up by QAW on an exclusive written contract as well. Anyway, enough about that. Let's advance. This is gonna be a long episode, man. Let me advance one day. I want to just see what happens in one day. Maybe CWA will go back in for Princeton. Man, what an episode! Like, I wasn't expecting all this negotiation stuff to happen. Like, I purely wanted to essentially focus on the storyline part of the new stable that we have. Alright, that's nothing there. So, looks like we might have to wait until next episode to see the outcome. Unless it happens right now, it's probably going to be next episode. Because the TV show is literally in one day, so gonna be interesting. I don't believe it. $70,000 a month with a $50,000 sign-on bonus plus 30% per event bonus. 8 years. And he re-signs for $57,000 for 5 years with 20% bonus. Oh, that's a tough extension for us to see there. He would have been perfect. He would have absolutely been perfect. Maybe I should have gone harder. Anyway, hopefully we'll get Princeton as a backup. He's still going to be a top main event talent as well. Just frustrating. That's honestly just really frustrating. I almost feel sorry for Princeton because I'm just really not that excited for him, to be honest. And he is really, really good. Anyway, oh, we didn't check size. We're still 33. Okay, we're going to Alberta. Okay, 165 fans. From 10,000 to 165. I mean, I may as well just give out free tickets for this show. Can I change it? Hopefully I can change it back, but Oh, it's on. I was like 18,000. How many in Alberta? 289. Okay. I mean, where do we want to go? Calgary. Go to Edmonton. All right, let's book the show. I need to focus on people that have good popularity in this region. So let's have a look here. Can we do this by popularity in this region? Yes, we can. Perfect. All right, so Alberta, we want a minimum of 60, I guess. All right, we got Mighty Kavanaugh and we have Mobstar. That's it. He actually has really good popularity. So let's use Kavanaugh in the main event. I might actually let's just do Kavanaugh and Davis one-on-one. Because he was involved in the storyline or the tag team match in the first episode. Let's go Davis. Let's go open. I think what I want to do actually, let's go Tainted win. And let's go a botched interference on Kavanaugh by Mobstar. And that can actually lead to a match on the next episode. Hopefully, between Kavanaugh and Mobstar. Or at least, you know, sometime in the near future. Of course, it's going to be non-title, as you would expect. Okay, what else? I think what I want to do, let's have Jackpot take on Taylor. We can, of course, do the reverse match. I mean, part of me actually wants to give this maybe 16 minutes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Obviously, Jackpot being the more over worker, going to get the victory there as well. That's looking pretty good. There's a couple of good matches there. What else? So, Mobstar does have decent popularity in this region. So I think what we want to do is maybe have him take on... He has lose pop. Don't tell me he's lost popularity. No, okay, perfect. Let's have... I don't know who I want to have. Let's have Papa Swole. No. Maybe Jack. Let's go Jack Jackson and Mobstar. Because Jack actually has, you know, decent popularity in this region as well. Yeah, so Mobstar will get the victory there. It's going to be open, going to be called, going to be decisive. And then let's just do a couple of filler tag team matches in here as well. Let's have Doomsday Generation take on Rock City Stars. Or the Crew. Let them take on the Crew. Because, yeah, Papa Swallow has pretty good popularity across every region. Although, for some reason, Alberta, it's a little bit lower. Which is interesting. What about Leicester? Yeah, see, Leicester's not great in this region either. Anyway, it's perfectly fine. This will be our storytelling match. Give the victory to Public Enemy as well, just to try and build him up a little bit more. There's storytelling. That can go there. Then let's go another tag team match. Let's just go with Gilmore and Goldstein. They can take on Graham Gorman and James Diaz. So it's actually a pretty decent match. But what we'll do, let's have Gilmore win. Let's actually have Gilmore pin Graham. I think it can be called a court. Slow build. Alright, that looks pretty good. That's a solid match. I mean, overall, that's a pretty solid show. So let's do angles. Let's go, obviously, Davis for the main event. That'll be perfect there. Let's go Gilmore and Goldstein. So we're gonna go big time with guaranteed angles because we already know how well these are gonna do. Monton. There, let's go for Jackpot and Steven. I think I'll script both of them, actually. That'll advance Wall Street storyline. No John Green on this show, but that's perfectly fine. We'll use him on the pre-show or something. So that can go there. I was going to go an angle for the crew, but I don't think they really need an angle. We might chuck in one more match as well, actually. Because Cuba Christie's not in a match. I might actually have Yuta Sono take on Bowden Snoop. Do I want to do that on the show, though? Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, let's go a Mobster angle here. That'll kick things off. We'll go unscripted. And then let's go with that one extra match as well. We should be able to fit it, yeah. Actually, I haven't used Maddie Faith either. Actually, you know what? We won't do another match. We're going to do an angle, because I forgot to do the angle that I said I was going to do, which is actually the formation, the proper formation of the stable. So, it's going to be Maddie Faith, Charlie Corner, Rock and Ryan Turner, and Stan Manor. And all four of them are going to kick us off with the show. And like I said, we'll take out the Rock City Stars. Alright, so Faith No More has now been established. All four members speak their mind. Okay, that looks pretty good. That's going to advance their storyline. And like I said, let's quickly do a little bit of moving around. So this match is going to go first. That's perfect, actually. So let's jump into the storyline here. Tag division. Rock and Ryan Turner, take him out. Stan Manor, take him out. So hopefully they'll get a little boost there as well. And then let's add them into here. Where are they? Rock and Ryan Turner. And add in Stan Manor. Okay. That looks pretty good. And as you can see, success level for Charlie is... It's okay. It's fairly good. Alright. That looks pretty good. 120 minutes. Perfect. Let's do the pre-show. Let's have Maddie team up with the Rock City Stars. Probably do all four of them, to be fair. Maybe I will. Let's do an 8-man. Makes a little bit more sense, I guess. So Maddie, Charlie, and then the Rock City Stars can take on... They can take on Red, White, and Blue. And let's also throw in Zach, and let's throw in... who else do I want to throw in, actually? That's a good question. I guess Willie. Willie can go in there as well, seeing as he's so fresh, you know. Although he is starting off his career in the company with 2 losses, which doesn't really make all that much sense, really. I do want to give the victory to Maddie Faith. Of course, he did lose that match against Giant Brody on the last show, so we want him to be fine. We do. Alright, so there we go. That is the final show of the episode booked. Let's run through it. All right, so we start off with a 55 rated pre-show match where we have an 8-man tag. And of course, we have Faith No More, our newest stable. Probably one of the most promising stables we have in the company as well. Of course, consisting of Maddie Faith, Charlie Corner, Stan Manor, and Rock and Ryan Turner. And they defeat Zach Powerson, Willie LaRue, and Red, White, and Blue in 12-11 when Maddie Faith pinned Willie LaRue with a leap of faith. There we go. Good match. Maddie getting a 61. 53, 54 for Rock City Stars. And Americana with a 41, but good to see Willie with a solid 46 there as well. Unfortunately, though, Zach Powerson seemed off his game. All right, we kick off the show with a Faith No More angle. And of course, Faith No More has now been established. And of course, all 4 members then get on the microphone to talk about their state, or the state of the coalition, state of the CWC company itself, and basically say that they want to take over. They're looking to take every title belt and bring it to Faith No More. Pretty solid 53 to start the show off. Again, Charlie being in there is probably going to drag it down a little bit, considering Rock City Stars got a solid 75 rated angle on that last TV show. All right, we then go into a random tag team match, getting a 48 here. Also, we're in Alberta, so that needs to be remembered. The ratings are going to be a lot lower than they would be in Ontario. But we do have the Crew defeating Doomsday Generation in 11:50 when Public Enemy pinned Original Sinner with a Tombstone Pile Driver. Big finisher, and it's a pretty good match. Pretty good match, considering. All right, we then move into a disappointing 69 rated angle here from Mobstar. As you can see, he did not do well without a script to follow. Probably should give him a script, but at the same time, I kind of expect him to do a little bit better, if I'm being honest. So, not a good angle, but hopefully the match will be pretty good itself. It's good enough. We get a 71, and we have Mobstar defeating Jack Jackson in 12:02. By pinfall with a flat and a DDT. It's good enough. It's good enough. I'm happy with that. It's actually a pretty good match for Jack to be in. Although it is in Alberta, so probably not going to matter too much on his popularity in Ontario, which is primarily the most important. Anyway, we then move in. I've done it again. You guys are probably screaming at me. I've done it again. Anyway, it's going to help out Jack. It's because I just, for some reason, I think that Jack Bot is first in the list when it goes to Jays. Anyway, we've got an angle here, or a pretend angle, from the Moneymakers. Gets a 68 rating. Of course, leading into Jackpot's match, and Jackpot's not even in the angle. So, there we go. Anyway, the match itself, not too good. It's not great, but then again, Jackpot's, the majority of his popularity is in Ontario, so it's understandable as well. We get a 59 rated match here. We have one half of each of the tag team competitors going at it, and of course, Jackpot Jordan defeating Taylor Norton in 16:29 by pinfall with a cash in. So it's a decent match. It's not too bad, but obviously in Ontario, I would feel like this match, especially given 16 minutes, easily would get a 70, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but a 70 would seem like a fair rating in Ontario. Right, we then move into an 82 rated angle, of course. Again, similar scenario. We're in Alberta. Angry Gilmore's popularity, well, both their popularities obviously stand out in Ontario. But still, an 82 is really good. Obviously going to help the overall show rating quite a lot, because the rest of the show's been bang average. But as you can see, both Goldstein and Gilmore benefiting from having a... Well, actually, no. That's from a hot catchphrase. So only Goldstein, actually, doing a masterful job improvising interactions with the crowd. Going into their match, which does really well, we get a 78 rated tag team match here. Angry Gilmore and Ozzy Goldstein defeating Graham Gorman and James Diaz in 9:33. An angry Gilmore pinned Graham Gorman with an anger management. And Gilmore was the weak link. Only with a 52. That's pretty bad. But we still got a 78 for the match. Interesting. Oh, we also have Ozzy Goldstein debuting a new high spot. His psychology will be helped by being able to use it as a go-to spot in the future. So that could be a benefit. A big benefit, actually, for Goldstein. Anyway, we go into a really, really disappointing rating. I mean, the GOAT really kind of letting us down a little bit. But then again, he's got 87 popularity in Ontario, not in Alberta. So he gets a 68 here for the pre-main event angle. And then we lead into the main event, which does pretty well. Oh, no way. Oh, that's so annoying. This episode has fallen apart. Started off so well, and that contract negotiation with Brett Starr has ruined the episode. I know probably for you guys it's been entertaining, but for me, peak frustration right now. Anyway, we get a 76 rated main event. Davis Wayne Newton does defeat Mighty Kavanaugh in 20 minutes 18 seconds by pinfall, illegally using the ropes for leverage, although during the match we also had Mobstar accidentally hit Kavanaugh. So Mobstar trying to get involved to help Kavanaugh, ends up backfiring. Davis cheats to get the victory there right at the end of the match, following the accidental hit by Mobstar. But as you can see, Davis Wayne Newton has sustained a swollen calf muscle. And, I think that's a work-through injury. It's only a muscle injury. But at the same time, it's going to affect... If he's not healthy by the pay-per-view, that's going to destroy... And leading into this pay-per-view, this is going to be our best ever match, in my opinion. I was going to give it 30 minutes between arguably our two most over talented workers. Anyway, let's finish the show. Yeah, I already know about his swollen calf muscle. And it was a botch. Alright, Kavanaugh's gone. Kavanaugh is gone. But before he leaves, we're going to job the absolute crap out of him. He's 40 years old. He's like a main event talent, and he botched a move on the best worker we have. I don't understand that for a second. Anyway, we actually get a pretty decent overall show rating there. We get a 76. Obviously not increasing our popularity in Ontario, but as our popularity is 76, we don't actually lose any popularity, which was kind of my one real worry about doing this show. And now I've got many more worries to worry about. Perfect. So frustrating, man. It's literally the icing on the cake. All right, we'll check out his injury. We'll check out some popularity as well. Oh, Matt Hocking, probably too old now. No, he's only 34. Man, we might go for Matt Hocking as well. Look at his primary skills, man. They are insane. They're actually insane. And he's cheap. Alright, I got to remember about that, so I won't delete these. But 392,000 there for Coalition Wrestling. We'll check the medical in a second. Size, first of all, we did not go up in popularity. Oh, come on, man. I even ran the show in Alberta. Ugh, it's so frustrating. I think we went up in Saskatchewan. So I don't understand how that just happened. Yeah, we went up in Saskatchewan. I think we went up in, Manitoba as well. What about Quebec? Yeah, we went up in Quebec as well. We've literally gone up in these other 4 regions, except for Alberta. We just ran the show in Alberta. I mean, it's obviously going to go up at least 1 point this month from the pay-per-view itself. But that is seriously annoying. Anyway, we're going back to normal ticket pricing. I'm going back to Ontario. Could not care less about that. Because, I mean, we have 2 months anyway. Man, we got 2 months. I'm so frustrated about this episode. It's a good episode. It's a really good episode for you guys. I understand that, but for me, so good. Anyway, medical. All right, so it's being worked through, but it's 27 days, man. 27. So he's going to work the pay-per-view. We'll do a 20-minute match. But it's going to be trash. It's still going to be a good match as well. Probably even with the injury. But it's the fact that it was going to potentially be our best ever match. It was potentially going to beat a 95. I thought it could at least get a 95. Maybe even beat it. And now we're not going to see that. Anyway, we'll check a little bit of popularity here as well. Good to see Davis actually getting up to above 60 with his popularity there. All right, let's check Cooper first. I don't think he's actually increased any at all. Still 49. What about, where is he? Jack. I think Jack has gone up a little bit. Actually, he hasn't. He kind of has. He's gone up in the Maritimes in Quebec. And in the US, I think, as well. But, yeah, nothing else. Love his legendary gimmick, though. It's perfect. Who else have we got? Matty Faith. How much has he... Has he gone up a little bit? He's gone up 2 points. Okay, it's not too bad. I actually like that. Starr so far. He's gone up a little bit. He's gone up 1 point in the Maritimes, and I think that's about it, really. Actually, no, the Maritimes is exactly the same. Let's check Goldstein's psychology. Interesting, it's only 80. But he has a go-to spot to use, so maybe that'll... Not too sure how that works, if he's already capped at his highest psychology he can get. It doesn't exactly really matter. Anyway, let's just keep looking. So there was Papa Swole. Let's have a look at... Yeah, don't really need to look at those guys. Zach's still at 31. I mean, nothing's really changed. I mean, the TV show, it just doesn't really do all that much. Check Charlie. Still at 36, yeah. Also still at Cooled Momentum, so that's a little bit frustrating. Anyway, I think that's going to be the end of the episode, guys. I have to kind of end it there because I'm a little bit frustrated. It's gone for an hour and a half. And, yeah, I guess the next episode, we will hopefully find out if we have signed Princeton Price. Like I said, he's kind of the runner-up, if you will. And he's really, really good. But he's no Hollywood Brett Starr. There we go. Anyways, make sure you smash a like on the video, guys. Like I said, it's been a really good episode. I'm sure it was fun to watch, enjoyable. But the end of this episode, the last, 25 minutes, has been frustrating, to say the least. Anyway, also make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, guys. Turn on the notification bell. And apart from that, take it easy, and goodbye.